Welcome back to the Green Bananas Turned Yellow podcast. This is the place to be if you just want to vibe and chat about Survivor. As always, I'm your host Mahir, and today we're trying something new. We're doing a Zoom call, which I'm super excited about. Today we are being joined by two amazing guests, both of whom I've had the pleasure of getting to know through Survivor Carolina. They're both very bubbly, energetic ladies who I think have great perspectives on the game of Survivor. So joining me on the pod today are two of my good friends, Miss Morgan Isaacson and Miss Callie Hobbs. Ladies, how are we doing today?
Good. Thank you for
Hi.
having us.
Of course, of
Thank you so
course.
much.
Yeah, I'm super excited to chat with y'all. Because I know you both have really, really unique perspectives on the game of Survivor. So I guess before we start, just in general, like how have y'all been doing lately?
Good. Yes. We just finished playing on Survivor Carolina, so we're really excited to be on this podcast and like talk about it and stuff.
So I guess the first thing I wanted to kind of get your guys' like perspectives on was sort of like your histories with Survivor. So I guess, how did this journey start for y'all and like what was your first season and I guess sort of how did that get you to where you are now?
Let's see. My first season was Game Changers, which was like a really bad season to start with because all returning players, but I was like, I don't know how I was like 11, I think. I don't know. And it was just my parents watching it, and I just like walked in the living room. I was like, "What's this show? Oh, that's on TV. I've never seen this before." I'm like, "Oh, this is Survivor." And I remember I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is amazing." And I remember my instant favorite was Suri Fields, obviously, because like how can you watch Suri and like not instantly be obsessed with her? Um, and I find it funny because I don't think she was like as amazing that season as she was like in her past seasons, but I still just loved her the most. And I just think that shows how amazing she is. Anyways, so that kind of just like inspired me to keep watching. And I remember then obviously I watched 35 and I just like never really stopped. Until I think I kind of tapered off around the beginning of the new era, unfortunately. And then I came back. I came back at like season 44, I think. So I really just love the show and I rewatch it all the time. I love to watch Survivor. 16 is my favorite season. I love it so much. I know it's kind of basic, but and I can't not watch it. Like I have to have it in my life. And I love season 50. I love the show. And I think it's such an amazing experience and like social experiment and I just love it.
Yes. Okay, so I started watching Survivor. The first season I like clearly remember watching was season 39, which that one's like kind of a rough one to start on because that one like, it didn't get like very good ratings and stuff. But I mean, there were obviously there were some really bad things in that season, but like it still was such a like compelling show that I wanted to watch more. And really, like my family watches it, like my parents and stuff, and like my grandparents and aunts and uncles, like they all like know Survivor. So we just kept watching it. We watched more and more seasons, and we've kind of been all over the place. Like we've seen season two in Australia with Colby. I loved Colby in season two. He was really great. And then we also watched like into like the 40s, like, season 47, 48, 49. 49 was especially fun because that was the one I was watching right before I applied to Survivor Carolina. And that was kind of like the fun, like getting excited, like being so obsessed with Survivor and then being like, wait, I could actually play. So I just really just my family was watching it and I just loved it and kept watching it.
Yeah, awesome. So it sounds like you guys had like a pretty extensive history or a relatively extensive history with Survivor. Now you both mentioned you both competed in Survivor Carolina. So kind of going off of that, like before you got casted and before you actually played, was there like a particular archetype or like a player archetype that you wanted to go in playing as, or I guess like how did you guys approach that when like first starting off the season?
Yeah, so when I applied, I was like really confident that I was I was for some reason I was so confident. I don't know why. Um But I really wanted to be like fly under the radar, like get to, and then like start like fly under the radar before merge because I'm not the most physically inclined person. So I was like, okay, perfect. So just like fly under the radar, make friends, get to merge, and then like do your thing. You know what I mean? So I was kind of like more trying to go for the chameleon vibe. Because like also like Suri is my favorite player, so like I'm gonna like do my best to copy her. Not that I could ever compare. But I was definitely aiming for that kind of player, I think.
Mhm. Yeah, so I didn't know if I had like a specific like player in mind that I was trying to copy, but my strategy was like I really wanted to play the middle. Like I just like I felt like that was really good. I wanted to be like that swing vote position, like playing the middle and stuff because my thing was I wanted to go in and make friends with everybody and kind of be someone that everyone was like, "Oh yeah, we like her, like we want to work with her."
Now that I kind of know like what you guys were like shooting for, was there like a particular player that you guys wanted to like emulate, or I guess just like who's your like favorite player in Survivor?
I would say my favorite player is Three Fields, but she's obviously kind of hard to copy because like I'm not a socialist for Three Fields. I'm not as likable as her. Like I can't be that way because like that's just not like I'm just not that kind of person. You know what I mean? I can't change that much. You know what I'm saying? So I
Yeah.
would say like another like top favorite player I would say is probably definitely Marianne, the winner from season 42. I think she is absolutely amazing and I love the way that she is herself and she was so underestimated even though like she won. And like I find her like whole game so inspiring because no one ever expected her to be as smart as she was. And I think that that's someone that I actually play a lot more like because like everyone knows Free Fields is amazing. No one like you know what I mean? Like I feel like I have been really like unassuming the whole game and I think that like that's kind of why throughout my season I've started to love Marianne even more because I feel like I really relate to her.
Yes. Okay, so wait, this is like such a like random reason to like a player, but as I said before, season two, Colby, I feel like one moment that like really stuck with me from that season was when it was the final three. It was like final tribal. Actually, no, they might have had final two in season two. Anyways, it
Yeah, it
was
was
the
the
final
final two in
tribal.
season two.
Yeah. And it was Tina and Colby, and I just remembered Tina won. And Colby was like up and like cheering and celebrating before she was. And I just feel like I saw that like really great sportsmanship and it was like really inspiring to me because like I care about like good sportsmanship and I tried to like have that in the game like that I played this semester. But Colby was very inspiring and that moment stuck with me. And then also like Rizzo from season 49, like Riz God. I mean, he was just like so funny and entertaining. Um, and then I don't know, it's hard to choose like a favorite player, but I also really liked Charlie. I forgot, was he 48,
Six.
47?
He was
What?
46.
Definitely six.
But then he returned
46.
on Survivor
Okay.
50.
Yeah. But yeah, Charlie, of course, I love that he's a Swiftie. It's like so funny and like yeah. So I would say those three. I mean, I'm sure I could think of so many players I love, but like off the top of my head, definitely those three.
Yeah. Well, do you think Charlie was robbed on Survivor 46? Because like that's a really hot debate.
Wait, with Maria, like not voting for him?
Yeah.
Um, I mean, I don't know. I feel like I would say maybe a little bit because I feel like maybe like the reason Maria didn't vote for him could have just been like maybe like jealousy or something. Like I don't know. She was like, "Oh, you made it to the end," and I'm like I wish I was in the end. Like I don't know. I feel like they were such great friends the whole time. Like she probably should have voted for him, but I don't know.
And so I kind of wanted to get your guys' thoughts on like the game from like a social situation. So in terms of like navigating this idea of trust, because I think trust is a very in Survivor, it's kind of like a gray area, right? So like how exactly like what's your guys' take on like what constitutes like a strong ally, or like what do you like look for or not look for in someone you want to like align with?
Mhm.
I've always said that like I looked for an Amanda Kimmel. Um, I think that she is really I think one thing like she made it to the end was like twice and she never like back to back and she didn't win either time. And I was like, okay, someone who like I feel like is beatable, but not like you know what I mean? It's not like a GOAT. Like Amanda is a great player in her own right, you know what I mean? But she is like you can beat her. And I think that that was important, obviously, like not to be mean, but and then obviously I also think that she is smart, like she's helpful. She is someone you can work with, and she also is like loyal to some extent. I mean, I wouldn't say she was the most like she wasn't like loyal to Parvati in Hero First Villains, but like valid because she just got beat. But in like season 15 and 16, she was loyal to people that she was with. I think the only like, betrayal she ever really did was James, but I mean he had two idols, so like you gotta do what you gotta do. So I felt like um that's kind of type of person that I would look for, and I think coming into the game and like actually being in the game though, it's a lot harder to tell because everyone just like lies and pretends to be loyal. Um, so I would say I think people who were really worried about me not being loyal, I think it made it like more clear they were gonna be loyal almost. Like I think when they're worried about you, it makes you kind of feel like, okay, they're not doing anything because they're worried about me. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Okay, so I mean, trust is like such a hard thing to like find in Survivor, and also Survivor is just so different from real life because there would be times where I'd be like, okay, if this were normal life, if we were not playing this game, I would think this person is really nice and I would like love talking to this person and whatever, but it's just not like that in Survivor. Like there were so many times where like I'd meet someone and be like, oh my gosh, like they're so sweet, I love them, and then be like, but this is also a game, and they could easily turn on me.
Absolutely. And I guess in a hypothetical scenario, like let's say like in the pre-merge, you have someone on your tribe who you like immediately identify as like a threat. Like maybe you think in the post-merge they might be like an individual challenge threat, or maybe they're like a Suri, you know, they have like a great social game and they made it really apparent like early on. Would you want to like I guess target them in the pre-merge? Like would that be a specific case where you'd want to get them out early, or do you still feel like the more like opportune time would be like later on in the game to like make a big move to take them out?
I would take them out as soon as possible because there's always an individual immunity threat or an idol threat, and like if you don't take the chance that you have, you're gonna lose it. And I think that that's really something I've learned a lot is like do not hesitate. Like, do what you have to do as fast as you can do it because if you wait, you're never gonna get the chance.
Yeah, okay, so I agree with what you're saying, but I also feel like keeping that person in the game longer would create possibly a bigger impact for a move later on. Like if you were to beat that person in an individual immunity challenge, like using the example of like a challenge threat, if you were to beat that person, that would be a much sweeter and more memorable victory that you won that challenge. And also, if that person loses one time, like post merge and you can take him out, like that's a really big deal too. That would be a very big move. So I don't know. I mean, I do see like I see like if you have the chance to take someone out, like you should probably take it. And also I think in Survivor, the most obvious person to go home is usually not the person who goes home. Like plans don't stay the same for like an entire week of strategizing. So I could definitely see how everything would like go crazy and stuff. I guess it depends on how social that player is, like if they could like kind of like wiggle their way out of that like situation, but I don't know. I feel like keeping them longer would have some benefits depending on who the player is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. They could make a really good shield as well in the post merge if you keep 'em around longer. So I guess yeah, from like that sense, like having actually played the game, right? Like I know there's a lot that we don't always capture like on camera. So you know, like crazy moments like this, right? Like what is I guess something that people watching the game, like having experienced it, like what do you think is something that they are kind of missing out on, or like what do you think like they can't really like see like from a player's perspective?
Mhm.
I think for me it's like obviously there is like moments obviously like that, like the fun moments that aren't caught on camera, but I think even more than that, it's like just in general, like the relationships built like inside the game that you can't really see how deep they go just from like watching it on camera because especially for me, like when I had my closest allies, I probably wouldn't even meet with them. Like I don't have footage with them really. I only really would record when I was with people that I like needed to go talk to because when I have like my closest people, we just call on the phone. We're like, this is what we're doing. That's all we gotta
Like
do.
us, yeah.
Yeah, like so I think it's going to be hard for them to understand like how deep certain friendships go and like um how difficult it really is to like play the game while you're making friends. I think that was the hardest thing in the game for me was like struggling with like how to betray people that like you actually like love and like you really like want to be friends with and it's like but at the end of the day like you signed up to play Survivor and you want to win because you like at the end of the day you love Trevor more. You know what I mean? Like what can you do? You have like so it's really hard that conflict. I think watching it even more like on the TV it's like, why are you hesitating? Like, these are freaking, like, those are your strangers. Like, why do you care about them? But, like, you do care about them, especially there, like, on the real show, because you're living with them. Like, that's even, like, worse. Like, so I think it's really something that you don't think about when you're watching the show is, like, how difficult it is, like, emotionally and, like, mentally to be able to make the decisions that you have to make to win.
Yes. Yes. Okay, wait, I 100% agree with what you just said. I mean, my answer that I thought of is not as like heartfelt as that, but I totally agree. I was gonna say one thing that people don't see is kind of like I know this is like a reality show sort of and like a game show, and everything seems very natural. Like at Tribal, when people are like talking and having conversations and at challenges and stuff, like it seems natural, but really there's so much more that goes on behind the scenes. Like when people say like, okay, we're gonna cut the cameras and like you all can just do whatever you want and like chat, like at Tribal when they say like, okay, it's time to vote and someone gets up and it's like really all that person is doing is walking up like 3 steps and then they're cutting the cameras and like doing it for real and everything. So that is something people don't see. And also it challenges when, Audrey would like do her little thing and like explain the challenge and stuff, and then cut the cameras, and we'd actually go through like and talk about each section of the challenge. Like I just had no idea it was so like scripted almost, even though it's like not really scripted, but it kind of is. And there's just so much more that goes on, like behind the scenes with filming. And even on the real show, one time my mom was saying, like, filming a tribal council on the real show takes like 2 or 3 hours, which seems so crazy because it doesn't seem like it would take that long. Like, all you see is like 10 minutes of footage, but there's like so much more that goes on in like the filming. And I'm a media major, so of course I notice this stuff and like think about it, but that was one thing that surprised me.
Yeah, for sure. And also just due to the fact that we have such a big production team now, like,
Mhm.
obviously there is a lot to like manage when it comes to that. So I think that kind of in some cases reflects in like the way we like edit some of it. So in that sense, like I totally agree with you guys. It's like really like you never really know what the final product is going to be like when you're actually playing the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
After you guys' games officially like wrapped up, was there kind of like anything you learned about yourself or like if you took the time to like do some like introspection, right? Like what were some of like the key like takeaways from your experience with the game?
I I did learn a lot of things about myself, I think. I think being in Survivor, you're just in a situation you can never really anticipate. So I think you do automatically. But I learned that I think I'm a bigger personality than I ever thought I was. I kind of always thought like, oh, like I'm just like I feel like in my normal life people don't see me like people saw me in Survivor. I think that I've always known that I like had the temper, but I never really realized how how it was gonna be taken like when like people saw it, I guess. And I just think I'm less likable than I thought I was.
I mean,
No,
it's not
wait,
Not
true.
no.
like like not like a self-deprecating way, but in like a way that like, I learned also just about life, like you can't please everybody. Like there's always gonna be someone that doesn't like you, and there's nothing you can do about that. You know what I mean? Like when you're in Driver, like obviously I'm gonna keep trying to play the game and I'm gonna keep trying to work with these people, but I'm like kind of learning to like give up. Like you don't need to like me. We don't need to be friends. That's okay. I don't really want you in my life anyways, and that's fine. And I think that I really haven't had to do that all that much. And like, I don't know, because I think it's never as like normally when you don't like someone, you don't have to see them. You know what I mean? But in Survivor, you're forced to keep going. And so it's hard to like cope with. And I think I've just learned a lot about like how to like move forward in that kind of situation. I think also just that I I don't know. I just I'm a lot more chaotic, I think, than I ever thought. Um and I think also I think I'm also like smarter than I am proud of how I played. Like I think I played very well and I'm played not played very well and I'm proud of that. So I would say I also just like impressed myself throughout the game. But that's
Yeah,
it.
it's awesome to hear.
Yes. Okay. I also agree with what you said about the whole like impressing yourself thing, like because I went into the game and I had these like kind of like mini goals or like, things that I wanted to do and stuff. And I feel like I was not only did everything I said I was gonna do, but I almost feel like I exceeded my expectations. Like in such a short time, I was really like happy and just like it was nice to like see that like I can be like capable of that stuff. And like also another thing was that I think I just learned like this is gonna sound so bad, but like Survivor is like such a terrible game. Like it's just such an awful game. Like it's literally a game where you literally just backstab people and it's like I always watched it on TV and like thought it looked super fun and like it was so engaging but it's like when you're in that like when you like actually are like in that like position it's like really not easy and it's also it can be like really hurtful even if things are not personal it's like still like really hard. I mean of course like I love it like I was so grateful to play this season and it's still fun to watch but it's like any of these shows, like these game shows where you're like forced to turn on people. It's just, I don't know. And I think I just learned like, I feel it's like part of me is almost like, oh, these situations in Survivor, like these things would never happen in real life. Like you're never like actively trying to like get rid of someone. I mean, maybe that could happen, but not in the same way that it's like every single week you have to get rid of someone. So I just guess I kind of like normal life better. But at the same time, I also learned like this game really brings out people's true colors because things that people did, even if I want to say like, oh, that's like not what that's not an accurate reflection of this person. Like they'd never do that in real life, but it doesn't change that they did it in the game, like when it came down to it. So I think I just learned a lot more about just like people, like other people and like relationships with other people and like, when you're put in a situation where you're forced to maybe do things that you wouldn't do normally, that like people are willing to like go to really great lengths for that. So that's probably what I would say.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I will say, I Rod told me like what was going on most of the time. So in that sense, like I did, I saw both of your guys' games from like start to finish, and I will definitely say you both have like really, really impressed me. I think you both grew a lot through this journey, and I think you both handled it really, really gracefully. So props to both of you for that.
Thanks.
Um, now we can sort of move on to talking about the actual like show because I think a lot of I think a lot of what Survivor Carolina obviously models itself off of is the actual show. Are you guys watching season 50 right now?
Yes.
Okay, wait, I watched the first episode of the watch party and then I haven't really been keeping up with it, but I'm still like happy to talk about it. So,
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, of course. I mean, this is also just from like more of like a broad sense. So I guess like what are your guys' takes on like where the show Survivor is like headed, especially in like this like modern era, if you will.
That's like such a hard and terrifying question because like no, I feel like no one really knows what season 51 is. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah,
kind
that's
of like
true.
Winners at War when like we had that big thing that's like, okay, what's next? And now like I feel like we're at a similar point. So I don't know if it's gonna be more new era. However, I have heard rumors that it's two tribes, which
Yeah, it's
is
like two tribes of
exciting.
10 people,
I
right?
saw that. I was like, two tribes. I was like, oh, hello, Survivor.
They're
Going back
finally
to your
listening.
roots. I see, I see. So like that's exciting. Um, but I think it's gonna be an interesting time. I'm kind of terrified that it's just gonna taper off, like, because we're so like at 50, it's like such a big milestone, and then I feel like a lot of shows reach that and then they kind of go downhill a little bit. So I'm a little scared. but I'm hopeful that it'll keep being as amazing as it is because I'm loving the season. Like I really do think it's been a great season so far. I think that even like with Mr. Beast episode, I actually really enjoyed it personally. I think that if Devins had lost the twist, I think I would have enjoyed it a lot less. I think that would have been awful and very anticlimactic. I just think that would have that would have sucked. So I'm really happy with how the last episode went, but I do think that the twist in general like could have taken another turn. And I think that that's kind of how most of the twists this season have gone. Like there's kind of too many. So I'm wondering if they're gonna keep that like in future. They're gonna keep doing all these like crazy stuff because I think I'm kind of gonna get sick of it if they keep doing all these like twists. Like there's good twists, but there's also like too many twists. You know what I'm saying? So I'm
Yeah.
really curious
Yeah,
what they're
absolutely.
gonna keep from 50 and get rid of.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, I agree with you. The whole thing you said about like tapering off, guys, I was really scared that Jeff Probst was gonna say he's retiring. Like after this, because just think about it, Jeff Probst, like he has been doing this a long time. It's been 25 years, and he's like 60 something years old. Like I was getting really scared. I was like, oh my God, who's gonna take over when it's not him anymore? And like 50 is like this like really big deal. But I mean, I haven't heard anything. They could like actively be filming 51 right now or something like that. I don't know. But I mean, I kind of agree with that too. Like, it almost feels like for them to just go back to like normal people, like, because it's like 50 is like all returning players. And then if 51 is just like back to the usual, like, how they run things and stuff. I don't really know, but I also think it was interesting. Wasn't there like a Billie Eilish boomerang
Yeah,
idol in
Boomerang Idol.
50? Yeah, so that one, I think it's interesting how they're kind of incorporating like current like pop culture into the game. Because that's like a really cool twist, honestly, and that's very like marketing to today's audience and stuff, but I don't know, a lot of what I hear is that people saying like my grandfather like he's seen like all the like old era seasons and like now it's the new era and I feel like people always say in the new era they like baby the players and they like give them like extra like resources and whatever but like the truth is they don't like they will keep the flint from you if you like don't win challenges and stuff like they will not give you flint they like barely give them rice like it's like very like it's still definitely like very difficult. And I think it's been really good lately, so I'm excited to see like what the future brings.
Yeah, for sure. And I was actually having a conversation with a friend of mine recently, and he brought up this idea that, like, kind of also to your point, like the new era. Um, Not that they're like babying players per se. It's kind of like in like an opposite sense. A lot of the
Mhm.
players they cast now, they're like known, like they're like super fans of the show, right? And
Yeah.
so a lot of like modern players. I believe they call it like sort of like the Game Boy era of Survivor that we're in right now. So yeah, I don't know how you guys feel about that. Like, do you think they should go back to like just casting people who have like no idea about like what Survivor is or like Survivor strategy or whatnot, or like are you like cool with what they have like at the moment?
Like as a super fan, I love super fans. Like you know what I'm saying? So I think it's great to have super fans on. But I do think that when everyone's a super fan, it's kind of like I don't know, it's hard to like in the past, like I remember watching Millennials vs. Gen X, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I love Zeke. He's a super fan, like me. Like, oh my gosh. But like now everyone's a super fan like me. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
Yeah.
not as like easy to like pick out people I like, which is like kind of annoying. But I do think that I see I kind of like I see where they're going with it because it's like, why would you want to cast somebody who doesn't really, really want it? And I think that all these super fans are so passionate and you know that they're gonna give their absolute all, whereas somebody who like doesn't like know that much about the show, doesn't really care as much, they're just like, oh, adventure time, like whatevs. That's probably not gonna get as much of an effort. Even though we have had great characters, which is why it's kind of a toss-up because I think like Keith Nail amazing. I love him so much, and I would love to see another Keith Neal on Survivor. I think he's awesome. But it's like,
I mean, God rest his soul, of
yes,
course.
rest in peace.
Oh,
But
rest in
I love him
peace.
though. Like he was absolutely amazingly entertaining. I thought he was great TV. I loved him. I thought he was a great guy. And I think that seeing those types of people, like those kind of heartwarming people, even though they're not as as like smart or like into Survivor or into the strategy as everybody else, I think that that would be really nice to see more of. Just because I think that, we have all these like heartwarming moments or whatever, like I think it's almost like less manufactured that way. Like if you just have people like just like being themselves, and I really like that idea. Um, However, like I do like that they're not doing like flat out villains anymore. Like there is like some stuff that you just like, don't really want to see. Like I think Worlds Apart is like such a terrible season. Like I just don't feel the need to watch that type of stuff again. Like same with Island of the Idols. It's not like something you really want to see because
Yeah.
it doesn't warm your heart. And like when you watch TV, you want to be happy. You don't want to be sad. Like so I do appreciate that they're not doing those types of people anymore, but I would like to see more like fun characters.
Yes, yes. And I agree. Like, I think super fans are good because they know like everything about the game and they might be kind of trying to like emulate a past player. But I also think someone who like doesn't know much about the game and might just be on like, oh, YOLO, like let's do something like crazy and fun. Like sometimes those people, they can be like kind of reckless, but it makes for good TV. Like let's be real. It's very entertaining when there's like, when someone like causes a lot of drama. So I kind of feel like there's like a balance, like there's pros and cons to both. And also Kaylee and Juliet from season 4, neither of them had like seen Survivor. I think Callie had never seen Survivor, and Juliet had seen like one episode or something like that. And just that kind of like not knowing how the game works, like I feel like sometimes things could get crazy, but it could make it like a little more like entertaining. So I think there could be like a balance to that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but at the same time, I mean, you also kind of to your point, you get like characters like, for example, like Abby Maria, right? Or characters like, I guess like for example, like from like maybe Island of the Idols, right? You get people like Dean, for example, um, who they're not like super attuned to the game of Survivor, and but like because of that, that kind of fleshes out their personalities more in a sense. So I think I definitely do agree there are like pros and cons to having players like that, but regardless, you're gonna get great TV from them.
Yeah.
Awesome, yeah. And I guess in terms of just like the show in general, like what do you think is like sort of like the main thing you look for in a winner? Because I think predicting like the eventual winner of like a season of Survivor is it's a big thing for a lot of fans of the show. And so like are there like little subtle things that you guys look for in like a player's edit to like determine like okay, this guy or this person's giving like winner vibes?
Yeah, so like I'm like deep in Star Wars TikTok, like deep in the Superfan rabbit hole. So I always see like after each week there's like that girl who like breaks down everyone's confessional count and like why each person like is most likely to win. And it's pretty terrifying because um I feel like it looks like Aubrey's gonna win. And I like Aubrey fine. I'm not like an Aubrey super fan or anything. Nathan actually compared me to Aubrey after the game was over. I was like, okay, so like that was not the goal, but like
Oh.
okay.
That's an interesting
I guess
pull,
that's
but
fine. Like, but I think I don't know. It's like I've heard like theories about like no one was ever gonna have a zero confessional episode. I've heard that, which is really terrifying because Suri had one of those, so that's really sad. Um, but like, there's no way she wins. Like, you can't let Suri get to the end. Are they insane? Like, why would you do that?
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, as much
No, I
as I love
genuinely thought she
her,
was gonna be like the first boot of the season,
I
like in the
know.
first episode.
I was literally at the watch party. I was like I was gonna die if she went home. I was like gonna cry. I was like, that would be so bad if Suri went
I
home first.
know.
Like, so
No, it's
sad. But
so funny because like I left the watch party, right? And somebody, I forget who, texted me like, "Oh yeah, Jenna and Suri are on the block," right? And I was like, "Oh yeah, for sure, Suri's going home." Like no questions asked.
no, she's too amazing. Like, and so that's why I do feel like she's gonna make it really far. Like, she's gonna get, I think, to 4 or 5 at least. And I would love to see her on my other. I would. I would be so happy to see her there because she's gonna win if she's
She's
there.
gonna win for sure, yeah.
Exactly. But like, they know that. Like, how could they not know?
Yeah. Do
My
you think
only
she's
concern
gonna
though,
get like twist screwed again? Like she did the previous couple seasons she played?
I don't know. I think I kind of feel like production, like. I don't feel like they'll do that to her because like it's Suri, like you know what I'm saying, and like she got like Twist helped from the double duo thing, like she got immunity,
That's
and
true.
so I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised, but I also think that like no way Suri goes out and something stupid like that, like I'd be so upset, and like she's just such an amazing player, but I'm pretty terrified because Stephanie LaGrossa's exit press, I saw on TikTok saying that she kind of said that Suri goes next, so I'm pretty terrified that she's going home, but. I don't know if that's true though, because like, why would they air that? You know what I'm saying? Like, they wouldn't let her
Yeah.
talk about that. Like, NDAs, like, hello. So I don't even buy that, but I'm really like, I'm scared. And I also think that she needs to keep Ozzy because Ozzy's stupid and Ozzy's gonna keep her forever. Like, it's honestly really heartwarming to see Ozzy like playing like nice. Like, he's not like a jackass this time. Not that I ever like hated Ozzy, but I do think he's always so arrogant and he's not really like that anymore. And I like that. But he's so loyal to Suri, and like he's never gonna win if he's sitting with Suri. Like, I'm sorry, who's voting for Ozzy, like dumb jock, over Suri Fields, like the goddess? Like, not me. Maybe that's like a bad perception, but I don't think Ozzy would win over Suri. Um, and so I think that she's doing a really great job by protecting him. But unfortunately, I don't think she's gonna win. I don't think Ozzy would win if he got there. My current winner pick is Rizzo because I love him. And he
Yeah. I
has
was
had
gonna
a
say like, what do you
good
think
at it.
about Rizzo and like Cerise's alliance? Because like I felt like it was really like unexpected.
It's beautiful. It's wonderful. I love it. I also never expected it because like Cerie's so like Riz gone, ew. Like, you know what I mean? She's like older. She's like, what are you saying right now? Like she's not in like the brain rot. But she is like I just love how they work and I think it's so nice that like they actually tell each other everything. And I as someone who's played the game, like I can imagine like how valuable that is. And I think it's really nice to see someone like that's so old era connecting with someone like ultra new era. And I think it's pretty beautiful to see that relationship. And I think I don't know, my current runner pick is Rizzo, but I'm kind of doubting it because people are talking a lot about him a little bit. Like, because they're kind of like talking about him in like a way that he's like not, he's like stupid. You know what I mean? Like, I hear them talk about it. And I've also heard coach say, oh, we can't let a 26-dayer win or something like that. You know what I mean? So I've heard a lot of kind of like, I don't see Rizzo getting the votes. Like, I think he'll get there, but I don't think he'll win, which is kind of upsetting. I think Aubrey's going to win, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
But that's
Yeah.
that.
I feel like you can be like not a threat. Like you can be like at the bottom of a game and become a threat by taking out other threats. Like, does that make sense? Like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Totally.
so if there was like a big like challenge threat and you like beat that person in a challenge, like you just like, you just like stepped up. Like that's added to your resume. Or if there's like a big social player that you are able to blindside, like that's also a step up. Like I think you can like start at the bottom and like work your way up by taking out other people. So for me, like that's kind of what I see in like a winner is just like someone who's like willing to like take those risks and like try to play and stuff. And then also, like the motto of the game is outwit, outplay, outlast. So someone who kind of like fits those two, like if you're sitting at the final three and your like speech to the jury starts with that, like saying like the motto of this game is outwit, outplay, outlast, and then you like go into why you did each of those things, like low key, I'm gonna vote for you, you know?
Yeah. No, that's a really good like way of like looking about it. And I feel like for a lot of like jury members in particular, like that's kind of like the criteria they use to like assess who's gonna like win their season, right? Because they want like a player that like best sort of like represents the season. I guess like the theme of it in a sense. So
Mhm.
I definitely do agree with you there. With that being said, we are unfortunately just about out of time. Thank you guys so much for hopping on the pod with me. Before we actually sign off, though, I usually end the podcast with a fun little game. Today we have a little game called Survivor Hot Takes. So how this works is we're each gonna give like a survivor like category, right? Or like an aspect of the game. So there's stuff like winners, twists, advantages, etc. And two out of the three of us are gonna give like we're gonna give a hot take about like that particular aspect of the game and try to defend why we think that hot take actually makes sense. And the third person is gonna sort of like compare both responses, and whoever has the better like defense in their mind gets a point. So I was thinking we could maybe do a couple rounds of that and just see like sort of how it goes. Um, yeah, so I guess if anyone wants to, I guess I could start off with being like the critic, I guess you could say, and then we can kind of do like a little circle.
Okay.
Okay.
Um, so I guess the first category we could do is we could start off broad, like I could say like Survivor season. So I guess if there's like I guess if there's like a season that is like controversial or something that you think is like actually really good or just
Mhm.
like some kind of like hot take about like a Survivor season. You could just say that and then just give like maybe like a 10 to 15 second like defense, I guess, of it.
Okay, wait, I'm thinking.
Yeah, wait, this is
Fair.
hard.
Kind of prep. Wait, okay. Hot take season I like.
Or a good one that you didn't like, something like that.
Yeah, or it could just be like any kind of like hot take about like
Mm.
just like a Survivor season in general.
Okay, I have a hot take.
Okay.
Okay, my hot take is, um, I do like season 48. I don't love it, but I really liked it, honestly, because I think that the way it ended was so beautiful. Like, because it was annoying the whole time having to watch Joe and Eva run the show and just be like loyal. And it was like, it was annoying. Like, it wasn't what I wanted to see. But I do think that it brought a lot of good emotion. Like, okay, the autistic, like the moment thing, that was pretty beautiful, like at the end of the day. And I also think that because Kyle still won, it all was fine. Because like the person who was supposed to win won. It wasn't like the jury was looking for that loyalty and integrity because like that's not what anybody wants to see, including the jury. So even though those like honesty integrity people made it to the end, even though like they didn't give us the content we wanted to see, we still got that content from Camilla and from Kyle and from everybody else in the show. So I think it still ended up being a pretty great season because it had a beautiful ending, and I think the right person won to represent the season, and I think that that's how it should be judged even more because they had the right jury, they had the right ending. So it's like, what more do you need?
Yeah. No, I agree. I like that bit where Camilla, like at Final Trouble, she's like, I got you, Kyle."
Yes. It's beautiful. I loved the duo. It was like it was heartwarming. Like the whole season, I really did find it heartwarming, even though there were annoyances because it just kept being honesty, whatever, whatever, whatever. But like it was still beautiful to watch. Like they still brought Joe back. Like people couldn't have hated him that much. Like, they're bringing him back. You know what I'm saying? So I
Yeah.
do think it was a great season overall.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. Okay, wait, I feel like my hot take is like kind of weak because I like kind of don't know what to say, but I'm gonna say that when like as the seasons go on, they get shorter. Like in the beginning, like I think season two was like 40 days or something crazy. And then it went down all the way down to like 26 days towards the end. So like the shorter the seasons get, I think in the earlier seasons where it was longer, there was, first of all, more time in the game for like twists and things to happen. And also, the longer you're out there, the closer people get. So it's harder to make like those decisions about who to vote for. And also, you kind of get like weaker too, because you're like not eating as much and like not sleeping as well. So it's like, I think the longer seasons create more room for like twist and gameplay. And also, it makes it like it makes the season, there's more at stake, you know?
Yeah. No, that was not a weak take like
Yeah.
whatsoever. I think that's really valid. I think I also prefer it being like 39 days just 'cause like the game feels more like fleshed out that way.
I agree.
Um yeah, I think these are both like they're both like really good arguments. I don't even think I can like pick one.
Okay.
Um you know what? Yeah, I'll just give you both a point. We'll like move on.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah. So I guess in that case, I guess that would leave Callie as like our next critic, I guess you could say. Um
Okay.
I actually have a list of
Okay.
categories here that we could just run through. The next one would be twists in the game of Survivor. So I guess Morgan, if you and I have like hot takes about like Survivor twists, we could like think of a
Okay.
couple.
Okay, wait, let me think of something I like or didn't like. Okay. Okay. Wait. And she hasn't seen season 50, so I don't know if I want to do it or not. I'll just do it. It's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. So my hot take is I like in general don't really like double duos twists, which like in 50 was like where they kind of gave everyone a partner and like you won and muted together and you were voted out together. So like they like sent
Oh.
two people home together. And like hot take, I didn't love that because I do like Chrissy Hofbeck. I think that she's like not the greatest gal, but I thought like people I wanted to see her back. Like she like played a great game in season 35, and I think that I was excited to see how she'd play without a Ben. Like I was really excited. And then like she was like kind of screwed by being paired with Coach. And it's like they didn't know picking their partners that that was going to be their lifeline. Like I don't think she would have picked Coach. Like you saw her having to be like, Coach, don't be yourself today. Like stop. Like he like was
Mhm.
trying to be like, don't get us voted out. And then he got them voted out. And it was really hard. And I just like kind of hate that I feel like she was kind of robbed a little bit. I mean, not that I mean, I was excited to like watch the honor integrity thing, but like Chrissy really wasn't honor integrity on her season, which is why I'm kind of confused like where that came from. Because I didn't really see her like that on 35. Like, I mean, she's a mom and like she's older, so I can see why, but I don't really see that vibe from her. And I was kind of excited to see her play because I think she's a really interesting strategic figure. And I think that it kind of sucked that she went out. And I was happy the coach went. Obviously, I was
Yeah.
very excited about that. But I didn't love the twist overall, even though like I mean my favorite players were safe, so it was fine. But I do feel really like bad that she got screwed by that, and I wish that she had been able to stand longer. So I didn't love the twist.
Wait, that's really good. Okay.
Yeah, that's actually a really good it's a really good case. I don't even think I could compete with that. Um yeah. I guess my hot take about Survivor Twist would be the Super Idol. I think they should bring it back. Or I think they should like have a season where somebody successfully has a Super Idol play. Just because
Did
like
Tony have one?
I'm sorry?
Didn't Tony have one? Or no, he like just
He
kept it.
faked having one. Like he had a
That's
regular
right.
one, but then he claimed that it was like a special idol that you could use at like 4 or something.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I think yeah, they had the Super Idol for a couple seasons of the show. Like they first introduced it in Cook Islands, I believe, and Yule found it, but he never actually had to like play it at any point, which is a bit annoying, but whatever. And they had one in Ko Rong where they had like two idols, and like if two people played an idol at once, you could like combine it into a Super Idol, and then
Yeah.
play it on like whoever you want. Which I think if they bring that back, that would be a cool twist because it reinforces like trust between people. It makes people sort of like commit to being like staying like loyal to one another, especially if they're in an alliance. And I think it would also be a fun way to like shake up the game too, right? Because it's like if someone who's like a unanimous target, right, ends up maybe like misinterpret like misplaying like not playing an idol, right, they still have that second chance to like correct their game, right?
Hmm.
So I think yeah, I think that super idol twist should be like re-implemented in Survivor. I do think that like there like lately in Survivor there have been like way too many advantages in the game, but I think if one has to like come back, it would probably be that one for me.
Okay. Wait, these are really good arguments. I mean, okay, Mahir, I agree with what you just said. Like I like really agree. Like I don't even think that's like that crazy like hot take. Like I just think that's like a good like that's it's true. It's a good idea. So I feel like I might give the point to Morgan. So good job, Morgan. I'm sorry, I feel bad since last time you gave both of us a point, but
No, it's all hey, it's the game.
yeah. But no, this was really good. You guys both cooked.
All right, awesome. So I guess that just leaves Morgan as our last critic. So our final topic is controversial players, or just players that have like maybe received like a mixed reception in the past, but like who we either like really like, or maybe just a player that's like super popular, but like we don't particularly like, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Wait, can I go first?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I need time to think too.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so I am going to say, like, I feel like this is so crazy. I think Rizzo, everyone thinks that he was like so amazing with his like idol in season 49, like on his original season. But I feel like what he did wasn't even that crazy because the truth is he did not use the idol. Like he really didn't do anything. And then like he just like kept it and everyone knew about it and like no one voted for him. And then at the end he like played it for himself, but like no one voted for him anyways. And I saw, at the end, he wanted to go up in fire against, wait, what was her name? There was like, this like girl at
Oh,
the
the girl that
end.
Savannah.
he didn't want to go against?
Yeah, or oh wait, no, he did want to go against someone.
Did. Oh, Sage? Like the other girl?
Well, there's
Like,
No,
Savannah, Sophie B, and Sage.
yeah. 'Cause I remember him
Savannah.
talking about how he was scared to go against Christina because she was so good at fire, but that's all I remember.
Oh, okay. Wait. Yeah, that might have been it. So basically, he was like talking about that or something, and he was like saying he didn't want to go against certain people. But the truth is that he could have used his idol to make whatever he wanted happen. Like the people he wanted to go up and fire against or didn't want to, he could have used his idol to like make that happen somehow. I think that would have been an amazing play. And like he didn't really do it. So like I don't know. My hot take, I don't think Rizzo like was that amazing with the idol. I mean, I love him as a player, I love him as a person, but like I don't know. I think that could have been more powerful.
Yeah, that's a good point. Um, oh, you know what? You mentioned Rizzo kind of like playing around with the idol, right? There's actually one other player that used a very he like implemented a very similar strategy.
Mhm.
Who's actually a very like beloved player in the Survivor community, but personally I think he's a bit overrated, and that would actually be Malcolm from Survivor Philippines. Um, because he had an idol, and he used kind of that same strategy as Rizzo, where he had an idol that was like public knowledge, and he was able to like get by some like really tight votes. Telling people like, "Hey, I'm gonna play this thing," but he didn't actually like play it. So
Mhm.
I think in that sense he's like similar to Rizzo, but I just feel like even still, I feel like he's not really an amazing player by any means. Like he definitely played well given the target he had on his back, but yeah, I mean he really only won like what two immunity challenges across 3 seasons. He's a little cocky, I feel also, and like I don't know, in general, like obviously, being like a target or like an underdog, like you don't have a lot of power in the game, but I feel like there's so much he could have done to like accumulate power and maybe not put himself in as much of like a precarious position, especially in like Survivor Caramoan. So just yeah, I think in general, I think Malcolm is a bit overhyped. I do feel bad for like how he went out in Game Changers though. I feel like that tribal was just straight up
So
like
sad.
horrible.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, like it
Yeah.
was it was just more so like JT if anything, but
JT's such an idiot. Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
JT like Tokachins he did amazing. Other two times like he fell off like so hard.
Only did amazing because he was playing with idiots, though. Like, you know what I mean?
I mean I
Steven
mean he
was
had
smart.
Fishback. I mean Fishback was
Yeah,
a really
Fishback's
good
G.
player.
I love it. I would have played. I would have voted Fishback. I'm sorry. I love Fishback. I think he's amazing. But like other than that, everyone was really. I'm sorry.
I mean
Like,
Taj was good too. I mean Coach, okay, Coach was insane, but like I don't think he was a bad player in Tokachins, but I
I
mean
mean,
that's another hot take too. Like I think Coach was like not like as bad of a player as people.
crazy hot take.
I mean like okay, I'm maybe biased just because I love Coach, but like
I mean, I like Coach, but like he was not like. What's like? What do you mean you're handing it to the Warrior? Like, shut up. Like,
I mean, that's a pretty solid hot take then, if like that's like so
yeah, you know
surprising.
what? Actually, that's my new hot take. Coach, I think is like not a bad player,
I don't think he's a bad player. I
or
think
just like he's not like as bad as people like
I mean, in South Pacific, he was pretty
South
amazing.
Pacific. He just straight up created like that
A
whole
cult.
religious cult, which like
Yeah.
dominated the entire game.
But it worked. I
It
mean, he
worked,
got
yeah.
there. He did a great job. However, like Sophie, like
Sophie did
final
cook that
tribal
season. I
speech,
will give you that.
so good. I saw Coach as a young girl. That was beautiful.
That was so
I've
funny.
never been more happy to hear someone say so great. Oh my gosh. Okay. Wait, so final hot take, is it Coach or is it Malcolm?
Okay, you know what?
Or do you
I'll
want to say
switch it
both?
back to Malcolm just because I know your opinion about Coach now.
Okay. Let me think here. I think Malcolm's really entertaining, but I do agree with you on like the whole like a fans versus favorites thing. Like he kind of did that to himself. Like I don't know, he just was stupid. Like Well, just don't give away your idol. Like, never give away your like. It's like, what do you? Especially when you're on the bottom. Like, why would you give it away? Like, if you're on the top and you just like want to see what you want to happen, then I feel like it makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But like,
and if he
don't have
hadn't
your
played that idol at Final 10, right? Like Philip would have gone home. He would have had an idol to play on himself at Final 9, and that could
idol.
have possibly given him like some more leverage in the game too. So, I don't
Yeah.
know.
But I would say. Wait, I kind of like Callie's better because I do think Malcolm was a good player. Like I do like his Philippines run. I'm sorry. I like yeah, he wasn't good at mini challenges, but I don't value mini challenges. You know what I mean? Like that's not my thing. Like I like don't really care. Like even when people call him a challenge threat, I just think that he I do really like him. I do think he's really likable. Like his relationship with Denise was really powerful. I don't think it's not like he didn't play a good enough game to get there. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. I like Malcolm.
Okay, fair enough.
Yes.
He's also beautiful, so I guess I buy it.
Yeah, I was talking with Nora and Juliet in my last pod, and like, bro, they were like simping for Malcolm so hard.
Really?
They were
Oh
so,
my God. I
they
feel
were
Yeah,
like
simping for
him.
Malcolm.
Like
no,
he's
because
just
like
like
I had this like the
him.
game I did with them was like Smash or Pass with like Survivor players, and
Oh,
like they were
that's
all like,
fun.
"Oh my God, we would smash Malcolm like 1,000%."
How did Julia even know who they were?
Well, I
You
mean,
didn't.
Juliet, like I showed Juliet a picture of Malcolm, and
Okay,
she's like, "Oh my God, he's so fine."
Oh
so
my God, wait, that's funny.
I just like him. Like he's like got such a good like he's like sweet. Like he's like charming. Like I don't know. He's a good favorite, I think. Like, but I don't think he played the best game in fan favorites. But I do like his Philippines game. I think it
Yeah,
was good.
Philippines was good.
He was
Yeah,
better.
I don't know. I mean, like he's definitely a good player. I just think he's a tad overrated.
Is he that overrated though? Like I've never really heard people like talk about him like he's so amazing.
Well, a lot of people do.
Maybe they do. I just don't hear it. I don't know.
Maybe.
I'm also like not that deep into our community. Like I just am on the TikTok. That's it. So I don't know.
Yeah. All right.
But
Well,
okay.
that's just about wraps things up, guys. Thank you guys so much for joining me on the pod. This was a lot of fun. As always, be sure to check out the Green Bananas Turned Yellow channel. I'll be uploading more content there soon. But yeah, I guess until next time, I'll see you guys.
Thanks
Thank
so
you.
Of
much.
course.